Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Balboa, and in this video I'll be ranking all of the Shikais and Bankais inside of type soul. So if you guys end up enjoying it, like and subscribe, and also join my Discord down below where I'll be hosting giveaways, and my Twitch because I'm probably going to start live streaming very soon. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so to start off the tier list, the first tier list will be for low-ranking players, like players that aren't as good at the game. Then the second tier list I'll be making later on in the videos and be for comp players. So if you guys just want to skip like 5 minutes ahead, I'll be talking about that tier list because that tier list is going to be based off like type lead, the clan wars, the good ranking players. But yeah, the first tier list would basically just be ranked by noob stompers and things like that. So starting off with the very last one is going to be theater, because theater, you have to be kind of decent to even use it, and a lot of low-ranking players don't know how to use it. If you ever go against a theater user and ranked 99% of the time, it's just going to be a free win, because nobody actually knows how to use theater. Like, a lot of people consider it really bad. It's not bad, but, you know, a lot of people are bad with it. Now, the next one is going to be fire. Now, fire is kind of the same thing. You know, it can be really good. But after the rework, in my opinion, I haven't really seen anyone good actually run fire. It's mainly just low-ranked players that once again, you kind of just win instantly because they don't really know what they're doing. Same with these nets too. We're going to have Zangetsu and Poison. People just don't know what they're doing when they're using these. 99% of the time, like I was saying with Theater, it's just a very bad person. And these ones in general are kind of bad as well. Now, in this video, I'll be mainly ranking them based off their Shikai. Like, Bankai is just a secondary thing, in my opinion. Zangetsu's Bankai and Fire Bankai are both pretty good, but the Shikai just does not make up for it at all. Now, Shadow's interesting. Shadow does have a few really good players, but kind of like the rest of them, most of them are pretty bad. Like, Shadow can be good in the right hands. The Bankai is pretty good, but the Shikai, it's all right, I would say. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily, like, really good. Next one, we are gonna have confusion. Now, confusion can be good. It's really good on like Hakuda, I think. But I don't really run into it a lot. Like, it was being ran a lot, and now it's just not being ran nearly as much as it used to. So that's why it's gonna be going here. Now, the next one we have curation. Now, curation can be very good. It's very, very good on Hakuda. Like Hakuda, it's probably good or even meta. But if you're not Hakuda, then it's kind of just mid. It's really whatever. The next one, we're going to have Suzume Bachi. Now, Suzume Bachi is an interesting one as well because there is really good players with it, but most of them aren't very good. It is good for combos, 1v1s, but if it's anything more than a 1v1, it's just simply not good really at all. And then we're going to have Judgment. Now, Judgment, I feel like some people will agree or disagree with this because, you know, Judgment's an interesting one. It does have a counter. It does have a really good move. But the main thing about Judgment is going to be its defense. If you guys don't know, it has like a base defense where you actually get damage reduction, and it's a pretty high percent. It's like 20-30%. So yeah, Judgment is very good for that one thing that applies the defense, but without the defense, it's not very good. I would say if you really want to use it, like if you're really good with your base skill tree, then I would highly recommend Judgment because the extra defense is very nice. But if you are kind of like a Shikai reliant player, then I wouldn't really use Judgment. The next one that we have is going to be Flower. Now, Flower, it is good, really good on speed, but anything other than speed, it's kind of just like all right. It can be good on Hakuda because of the crit, but I would say it's mainly just good on speed. It's kind of made for speed. So that's why I'm going to be putting it here. Now, the next one might confuse some of you guys, and it's going to be Kyoto. Now, Kyoto used to be really good, but it's been getting nerfed quite a bit recently. The clone is still very strong, but basically the clone is really like the only good move that it has. The X move is just a free block, and the Z move, I mean, you can't really tell when it's active, but it just does whatever damage they do. And gives them a free dodge, which is like all right, but really the only good thing about Kyoto is going to be the fact that it does have the clone. Now, that's one is going to be Benehime. Now, some of you guys might disagree with this. Some of you guys might think Benehime is trash, but I'm telling you, high-ranked players and a lot of other players do use Benehime. Benehime is good. Now, the Bankai is kind of whatever, but I would say Benehime as a Shikai is going to be better than Kyoto as a Shikai. Now, they both kind of just have one thing that really carries them, but Benehime's does carry it a lot harder because Kyoto's clone, you can literally kill with like 2 M1s, where Benehime just gives you a free dodge out of any move, which is obviously going to be better. Now, the next one we have Water. Water, it really just depends on you. It can be super, super strong, but a lot of people are really bad with it, so that's where it's kind of like 50-50 in my opinion. So yeah, water is very good, but you could suck with it. Now I forgot to rank wind and lightning. Wind's gonna be going in bad, and lightning is gonna be going at mid, like higher up in mid. I don't know why I forgot to rank those, but that's where those are gonna go. And then the next one, the last one inside good, we are going to be ranking ink. Now ink is very strong right now. It honestly could be meta in my opinion. It is very, very strong right now. Like if you want to try one specific Shikai, I would say try ink, because a lot of people downplay it, but it is very strong right now. Now the first one in meta is going to be duality. Duality is very strong. Everyone knows it has a bunch of moves inside its Shikai. It is very strong, but at the same time, it's kind of whatever. Now it's duality, Bankai. It's probably the strongest Bankai inside the game, but its Shikai is very overrated. Now a lot of people think that it's the best thing inside the game. If you use it, you're automatically just a god tier player. No, honestly, it's kind of mid in my opinion. It's very boring. It's definitely the best mythical. It's one of the better Shikais. It's definitely probably the best Bankai, but like it's just very boring to you. In my opinion, it's very, very boring. The next one we have is gonna be blood. Now blood is just strong. If you guys haven't used blood, I would highly recommend it. The reason why it's so high is because the amount of damage it does. It has insane combos. It's just all in all really good. But the problem is, if you miss the moves, you do lose HP. So a lot of bad players probably don't want to pick this up, because if you miss a move, you do lose HP and you will just simply die faster. Now the next one we have is going to be ice. Ice is still very strong. It has a counter, it has the shurikens, and it has the Z move. Now the Z move is probably going to be the best part about the whole kit, because it confirms a lot of things. You can use the Z into Yamato crit and get a free crit. You can use the Z into like Taekwondo crit and get a free up tilt and just get a free combo in general. Like the carve move is insane on ice, and it honestly carries the whole thing, but it does give you a counter as well, and the shurikens is very good for applying pressure and forcing your opponent to block. Then we have Berserk. Now nothing really needs to be said about Berserk. It's simply just Bronchus. It's broken. If you're Hakuda, I highly recommend Berserk. If you're really anything, I highly recommend Berserk. A lot of people downplay it, but it is probably the strongest Shikai inside the game at the current moment, and the Bankai is pretty strong as well. So this is going to be like kind of the noob stomper tier list. I would just be changing around some things. But for the most part, this is going to be like the overall tier list for most players. Now you guys can feel free to disagree with some of it, but I do believe the good and higher is like 100%. Now mid, I kind of didn't put in order. But yeah, this is going to be my tier list for, you know, kind of like low rank players and things like that. Any of these, really anything low rank you can be good with, because the person that you're going against is going to be bad as well. But now, my clan's tier list, this was their ranking. They're the ones that play inside the type soul league and all that. So yeah, this is going to be their personal tier list. So the first thing is theater does go up. Now the next thing is lightning and wind go down. And judgment, yep, judgment's good. Boom. This was their tier list, because they said wind and lightning are basically just noob stompers. Theater is actually not bad inside the right hands, but overall it kind of stays roughly the same. Duration could go higher if you play Hakuda. If you're not Hakuda, it kind of stays like right around here. Benehime is good. I kind of ranked it in my other one as well. Like that's just personal preference. Benehime, in my opinion, is a very strong Shikai, and a lot of people just underlook it. So you guys can have your own thoughts, but I do believe, I kind of agree with them. Lightning is really only strong in low ranks. Same with wind. It's very easy to counter and just kind of not really that good in general. Now a lot of people will overrate lightning and say that it's like one of the better Shikais inside the game. But if you're an actual good player, this is kind of the tier list. Berserk, Ice, Blood, Duality, I would say are the strongest inside the game. Then Ink, Water, Benehime, Kyota, and Flower. These are really the important ones that you have to look at. But yeah, if you guys ended up enjoying the video, like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys inside the next one. Peace.